All right, welcome, fellow aviation enthusiasts. We are at 14,400 feet, doing 300 knots indicated. Start slowing down, actually. And we took off from Orlando, where we've been for the last couple of days. I haven't been able to fly in a couple of days. I've been real busy. We're headed to Panama City, Florida. We're going to enter our minimums while I'm thinking about it. Minimums to, hold on, RNAV runway 34 via the tie box transition. We're headed to tie box right now. Here is a graphical image of where we are. Okay, tie box, SIDO, SIGRO, FIGOV, and then runway 34 at KECP, Kilo Echo Charlie Papa. It's an RNAV approach, so there's no ILS to enter, but the distance between SIDO and SIGRO is 3.8 nautical miles. The distance between SIGRO and FIGOV is 2.1 nautical miles. The distance between FIGOV and HISNO, which is probably hidden under this NDB, there it is from here to here is 4.4 nautical miles. And then the distance between HISNO and the airport is 1.5 nautical miles. Approach plate for the RNAV 34 approach, runway 34 approach, tells us that at SIDO, right here, we want to be at 3,000 feet. At SIGRO, we want to be at 2,600 feet. At FIGOV, 2,000 feet. And over here, finally, at HISNO, we want to be at 580 feet. Total distance on this final approach from SIGRO to the airport is 8 miles. So, pretty straightforward. Famous last words, I know. Weather in Panama City is nice. Cool, actually. 61 degrees. Clear skies. Takeoff from Orlando was smooth. We had some trouble on our setup. I don't know if it was the result of the latest patch. There was a hot fix that was released, I think, Tuesday. But anyway, yeah, it hung on the load up page for way too long. And then when it finally did drop me in Orlando, it said that I had no internet, which is not correct. So anyway, I restarted the PC. Whoops, we gotta slow the hell down. What the heck am I doing? Time to break out those speed brakes. Turn off the auto throttle. Sorry, I was getting distracted. Anyway, I don't know. I restarted the PC and everything went fine. So gotta slow down. Got full speed brakes deployed right now, so that's nicely controlling our airspeed right now. Okay, we'll bring those back in. All right, now our speed's under control. I'm going to get myself in trouble. All right, our airspeed's good now. 200 knots. Continue slowing. We are 27 nautical miles from the airport ground. And we're at 8,600 feet. Generally want to be at 6,000 feet at 20 miles, so we'll increase our descent rate here slightly. Although we probably don't really need to, frankly, since we've slowed down rather significantly. Go ahead and get our landing lights on. Anyway, yes, the act of slowing down will assist you in not needing as much time or distance to decrease your altitude. Tyndall. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Our airspeed's at 203 knots indicated, but the auto throttle is set to 190. It's an unusual disagreement. Shouldn't be that noticeable. You never know what's going to happen after a patch. Even a minor one can really make things interesting. But we're all right. We're at 6,600 feet now, 22 miles out. It's just fine. Just fine. 6,000 is what you expect to be at 20 miles out. Let's see if we can re-engage that auto throttle without it acting up with that annoying alarm.
Landing gear.
Apparently
Landing
not.
Gear. Landing gear.
All right, I'll tell you what. We're going to slow down. I'm going to reset this at 180. We're going to see if that slows us down. We're not descending at an unusual... I mean, we're not... Sometimes it's hard to slow an airplane down when it's descending very steeply, but we're not descending steeply. We're only descending at 1,500 feet per minute. Actually, can shallow out our descent rate even more right now. We're 18 miles out. We're at 5,300 feet. We've been cleared to descend down to 3,000. We're cleared to tie box. Right now, we're only 35 seconds from tie box. But remember, we want to be at 3,000 feet when we get to Sido. Which is, oh, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 miles from tie box. There it is. 4.8 nautical miles from where we are now to Sido. We want to be at 3,000 feet. Probably get further descent instructions once we get close to Sido. I would expect the next altitude they clear us down to be 2,600, since that's where we're supposed to be at Sigro. Turn off our bank limiter. We don't need that anymore. Might as well depressurize too. 4,300 feet. That's fine. Oh, Jesus. The speed brakes are still up. That explains it. Oh. Well, now we know why. Now we know why. It was acting a little weird, a little squirrely. Okay. Anyway, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. So we're going to get... Okay, as I expected. Continue our descent.
Descend and maintain 2,600.
Coming up on Sido now, just 25 seconds from Sido, and we're at 3,600 feet and dropping at 1,000 feet per minute. So we're looking very good. Getting ready to start a right turn. Airport's going to be over there somewhere. I don't have it yet, but the weather in real life is clear in Panama City. It appears clear in the sim as well. 3,200 feet now. Remember, at Sigro we want to be at 2,600 feet, so how far are we from Sigro? 65 seconds. 3.2 nautical miles, so we're fine. But these RNAV approaches are always a little weird, so continue slowing here. Put down a notch of flaps. Slow to 160.
Landing gear.
Okay, we're at 2,600 feet. I expect 2,000. Yeah, I expected that.
Descend and maintain 2,000 feet, Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Coming up on Sigro, just 26 seconds from Sigro, and then after that's FiGov. It's 2.1 miles from Sigro to FiGov, and then 4.4 miles, as I said, from FiGov to Hisno. Probably get a tower handoff here momentarily. 9 miles out. Let's go outside, put down the gear, making that final right turn. Can't really see anything, so we'll stay in.
Landing gear.
Gears going down. My camera's fucked up because I had the temerity to look outside. Thank you. Reset. Okay, we're on final. Gears down. We'll slow to 150. 7. Full flaps.
Contact Panama City Tower on 118.9 or 5.
Okay, there's the tower handoff, just as I expected. We're gonna have to manage this descent ourselves because we don't have any further descent instructions. So I'm gonna set our minimums at 300 feet,
Panama City
just
Tower,
above
Cessna,
minimums.
November
Set our
343,
altitude at
Bravo
300
Whiskey,
feet.
8 miles south inbound RNAV runway 34 approach.
Cessna November 3, 43 Bravo
2,000
Whiskey,
feet
Panama
AGL right
City
now.
Tower.
6
Cleared
point-
RNAV runway 34
6.5 nautical miles.
Altimeter 3, 0.02 wind 223 at 10.
Winds are out of the southwest. God knows why we're landing on runway 34, but
Cleared RNAV runway
just
34
one runway
approach,
here,
Cessna
so
3 Bravo Whiskey.
right now the winds are coming straight at us, so we should expect a
Cessna 3, Bravo Whiskey cleared to land runway 34.
dramatic wind change.
Wind 223 at 10.
223. So the winds are kind of coming at us like this from our left,
Cleared to land runway 34,
slightly to
Cessna
the
3
rear.
Bravo Whiskey.
Still no reliable RNAV data. It's erroneously telling us that we're too high. 5 miles out and just 1,200 feet AGL, so we can actually shallow out this descent rate. Typically want to be 1,500 feet. Why don't I have the runway in sight? This is damn peculiar. Slow us down to 140. Where's the runway? I'm only 4 miles from it. I see it here. This is weird. And no, we never did get the RNAV. Disconnect the
Final runway 34.
2 mile final, and I don't have the runway in sight. This is weird. Okay, autopilot.
Autopilot.
Remember, our minimums are 260 feet. I just don't know why we can't see the runway.
500.
This is damn peculiar. I mean, we're lined up. What did they do? Forget to turn on the lights? What is this all about, you guys? Outer marker? There's no runway lights. There are no goddamn runway lights. Well,
500.
this is a first. I got to do a go-around. There's our minimums. I mean, I have the runway on the simulator, visualized simulation, but I don't have any... There's no lights on the runway, guys. I see taxi lights, taxiways. Okay, well, so much for this idea. Gears up.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
There's no... maybe this is a bug or something. There's no landing lights at Panama City. Now, who knows? Maybe this is a bug.
Panama City Tower, Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey is going missed.
Maybe this is a bug.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact Kindle approach on 125.2.
Since the latest patch or something, there's runway lighting problems. Although I didn't have any runway lighting problems in...
25.2 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Tyndall approach Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey is missed approach in Kilo Echo Charlie.
We're going to change our time
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey climb and maintain 3,000 feet.
way ahead of you there, Cochise.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey, you are 3 miles northwest. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 16 approach via auto transition.
16?
Clear to auto.
So now they want me landing on runway 16.
3 Bravo Whiskey, you are 3 miles northwest of Kilo Echo Charlie Papa. Contact Panama City Tower on 118.905 when inbound on the approach.
Okay, we'll contact tower.
Tower on
This is the weirdest thing that's
118.905
happened
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
since I started playing, in terms of no runway
Panama
lights.
City Tower, Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey 4 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 16 approach.
I'm sorry I had to back up time, but
43 Bravo Whiskey, Panama City Tower. Cleared ILS, runway 16 approach. Altimeter 3, 0.02 wind 223 at 10.
okay. So now they want us landing on the runway the opposite direction.
Cleared ILS runway 16 approach Cessna 3
I've never
Bravo
seen
Whiskey.
anything like that where they where we didn't have runway lights. I mean, this is weird. Okay, right now we're basically flying the downwind. I'm hand flying everything right now. Hand controlling the throttle. This is crazy. Hand flying, handling the throttle by hand. Gotta trim it though, it's wanting to climb more than it should. Alright, we're 6 miles, 6.2 miles from the airport right now. We're at 2,900 feet, so we'll start our right base. What on earth could explain why the runway lights were out? That is really... I hope this isn't some new problem. Still got a notch of flaps out. 7 miles. Making that right turn. Airport should be... It's about at our 2 o'clock right now. There it is.
Cessna 3, Bravo Whiskey, cleared to land runway 16. Wind 223 at 10.
Put the gear down again.
Cleared to land runway 16 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
I'll have to go to the boards and see if anybody else has talked about no runway lights. I saw yellow taxi signs. You'll see it. I'll watch the video again and confirm that that's what I was looking at.
Generic November 525 Lima Mike at runway 16 ready for takeoff. I had marked a primer.
Somebody's there besides me.
Generic November 525 Lima, Mike hold short runway 16. Traffic is Cessna C700 on final.
Okay, I'm doing 150 knots, 1,000 feet. 3.9 miles out. Are we going to get any Vossies or Poppies? I didn't see any on our approach.
Runway 16 generic 5 Lima Mike.
Right rudder, right rudder. No, I don't see any Poppies or Vossies. Airspeed looks good, 140 knots. Just by luck to pick a place, an airport with no lights on the runway. I'm sorry I had to back up the time, but I wasn't about to... Where am I going to divert to? You know? It's been a long day. Okay. No, I'm not seeing any lights. I got to go post a picture of this on the boards.
500.
500.
There are no lights. There's no lights. Look, on the left and right side of the runway. No lights. What are these weird blue stripes running down the runway? I'm sensing some weirdness from the latest patch. Well, we're safe on the ground at any rate.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey exit, runway when able.
Wilco.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact ground on 121.65.
That was crazy, you guys.
November 525 Lima, Mike cleared for takeoff runway 16.
Never seen that. Never seen... There are no runway lights. Look! There's no... You know the little blue lights that are normally all along the...
Cleared for takeoff runway 16 generic November 525 Lima Mike.
That is really weird. I don't know what to say. I don't have an explanation for what could possibly... I mean, there were lights at Orlando. really strange. Ground. Taxi, I guess, to gates. There's no GA parking.
Panama City ground Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey taxi to the gate.
I'll go
November 34 Bravo.
immediately to the boards
Tree via taxiway
and see if
Alpha.
anybody else has reported issues at Panama City,
Taxiing to gate
Florida,
3 via taxiway Alpha Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
in terms of runway lighting. Man, that was scary. When we were on final and there were no lights on the runway, I was like, geez. I mean, I can't land on a darkened runway, for God's sakes. All right, look, we're parking at a gate today because they can't, apparently there's no general aviation parking in Panama City, Florida, which we know is not true. If I had been able to back up time, I guess I would have had to have diverted. I mean, I'm not going to crash the airplane or just quit or anything. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure we're safe. All right. Okay. Right engine. Parking brake. That was really quite an adventure. I've never quite had a flight like that, I don't think. Honestly, I don't think I've ever had a flight like that. But all I can tell you is that 3 Whiskey Bravo is safe. Pilot and passengers are safe. And we're in Panama City, Florida, an airport with no runway lights. I'm looking at it and there's nothing. Let me just make my point one last time. Let's change the time again to live. Nothing! There's no runway lights at Panama City. That is crazy. Maybe this is a well-known bug. I don't know. I'm going to go to the boards and find out. Anyway, now we're back to live time, now that we're safe on the ground. And we'll turn off our remaining lights. Turn off our pitot-static. Turn off our timer. Almost forgot that. A little longer than I was expecting for a 260-mile flight. And we'll drop the logbook screen. And that's that. KORL to KECP, 53-minute flight, longer than it should have been because the sim was goofy. I'm going to roll the dice here and say that Panama City, Florida's airport does have runway lighting. Anyway, thanks for joining us for that surprising and shocking final approach. Have a good one.